weird and pissed off, whatever it is.
Oh, my moose head. Yeah. My thematic beverage. Thank you. Right, cheers.
Your Canadian beer.
Yeah. Canadian
Cheers.
beer for a Canadian movie.
Mm-hmm.
So the other day we watched Prom Night.
Yes.
Starring Jamie Lee Curtis, which came out in 1980.
Yeah, and it had Leslie Nielsen too, which was awesome.
Top billing for Leslie Nielsen. He was in about 3 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, but for some reason he got I think he got the top card on the top call.
In the post credits, he was on the top.
Yeah.
Pre credits, he was on the top.
Yeah.
IMDb, he might even be on the top then. But I'm
crazy.
sure that he was the bigger star in 1980.
Yeah.
Jamie Lee Curtis had starred in Halloween, of course, and I think one other movie before this.
Yeah.
And this was kind of garnering her Scream Queen popularity even more so than when she starred in Halloween. So.
Well, I'm sure with Leslie Nielsen, they were like, well, it's only opening to 300 theaters, so we'll give you top credits.
Just please be in our movie.
Please be in the movie, please.
You're a principal.
So it's filmed in Canada, so your beer, that's perfect.
Well, yes. And it's supposed to take place in rural Ohio.
Yeah,
Yet,
that's right.
Ohio, in 1980, apparently has a lot of migrant Canadians running around because their accents are a little hefty.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Well, I'll have a couple burgers, large fries, and what kind of beer you got?
If that blue VW is still in town, we'll find it.
Wow, there's a million stars out there.
Yeah, I figured that's what they were.
Where? When?
Well, actually, the state patrol got him out near Alderston.
This movie has a lot of disco in it.
It does. Odd choice, too. But Disco Kills, which was awesome.
Disco kills.
Yeah.
There is a big disco kill at the end. It's amazing. In the very beginning, it's a bunch of kids going to play in an abandoned either mental hospital or convent or something or school. I don't know.
So one of the sisters wants to join, like a younger sister, and they all antagonize her, and they bully her.
Well, she goes in, she's giving away people's positions.
Yep.
You know, hey, I wouldn't have wanted her to fall out a window, but I wouldn't have wanted her there.
Exactly. The result of what they were doing was definitely going to get them into some serious trouble because she was literally backed up against the window. So what else can you do?
Following the wrong kids around the hospital and fell out the window and died. And then 6 years later, we're at high school. Canadian high school, Ohio-based high school, who knows for sure.
Yeah, exactly. Ohio-based high school.
Nobody in that high school is high school age.
Yeah, no one is under the age of 21 in that whole...
You're being generous. Leslie Nielsen's the youngest person in this movie.
That is...
I got a ride. Who with?
None of your business. Who with?
A guy.
She's supposed to be in high school?
Apparently.
I thought she was like an
a
older
professor.
sister.
Yeah.
Or a professor.
The town that it takes place in Ohio, looks a lot like Haddonfield. Yes. And they filmed a lot like Haddonfield.
The scenes where she's walking down the street and stuff, it looked like they...
homaged it.
Well, it was a year later, so...
Yeah, or ripped it. Haddonfield 2.0 with more leaves.
Yes, it is more Halloween looking than Haddonfield was. Yep. Famously, Haddonfield was filmed not anywhere where there's any kind of autumn
and it was like
scenery.
Bone summertime, so it was nice and green and lush.
Yeah, and they just dropped leaves in front of the camera you see these brown leaves?
Yep.
That's autumn.
I mean, there was a couple scenes at Halloween where I was like, they really went all out. There's like 20 leaves on the ground.
Yeah.
But then there was like ones with 6, 7.
They blew their whole leaf budget on those scenes.
When they did the original Halloween, the John Carpenter one, and I wasn't working, he conned me into going to Pasadena one day with garbage bags full of dead leaves. And we were working on the set of the original Halloween movie, throwing the dead leaves around. So it looked like autumn, so it looked like fall back in the Midwest.
So there's a dude calling these girls, threatening them, makes you kind of think that, Scream might have been a tribute to those scenes in this movie.
Yeah,
like, hey, I haven't talked to you in a while.
That same gross voice.
Yeah. He calls these girls and harasses them. One girl seems to like it. One girl gets freaked out. One dude doesn't even answer his phone. So that I don't know why they even put that in the movie, but he didn't answer his phone. It pissed off the murderer. There's lots of red herrings.
Yes.
There's the creepy drunk janitor.
Yep.
There's the Leslie Nielsen.
The drunk janitor is like the cell the whole time. Like,
They
the whole
were
time
pushing the
yeah.
drunk janitor.
Yeah.
They had him everywhere. But then there was this whole like rapist who was in jail.
Yes.
That was
yeah.
like kind of like a non-threat, and that's another callback to Scream 2, or Scream is a callback to this, because Scream has that same thing. Oh, Cotton Weir, he's getting out of jail. He's the one that killed your mom. Ha ha. But it wasn't him.
Yeah.
And this movie may have started that type of red herring. Yeah, there's a guy they keep showing on the news. Oh, he got released from jail. Oh, he's back in jail again, so he can't be the killer. Okay, how much, screenplay time did they have to burn on that subplot? Yeah. There's the bully, the unibrow bully guy.
Lou, the rebel. Yeah.
Yes, the rebel, the cafeteria sexual harasser. This guy's such a creep.
Yeah, what the fuck is it? Jesus Christ.
The drive-in ass-staring asshole.
Yes. Yeah. He likes to go to Sonic and look at the girls.
Exactly.
In the weirdly fitting Sonic uniforms.
And not paying for any of his food is a plus. They receive, like, within their lockers, they get, like, these yearbook photos that are stapled up in their lockers.
And, the guy, it shows a scene of him tearing out his photos, and they're, like, tearing so cleanly.
Yep.
I've never seen a yearbook page tear like that. And
it's almost like they were perforated.
They must have, maybe in 1980, your yearbooks came perforated to tear pictures out. 2 perfectly lined up pictures, and then a page right behind it.
Yeah, it was right in the same spot. They could just pull 2 pages at the same time. It was ridiculous.
Like Wendy Smith, Kelly Smith,
Jude Smith, Nick Smith,
and Kevin Sturgis on the next page. They're all at the top.
They're all corner tears.
Maybe that's how he...
That one was pre-tour. Oh, look at that. Holy shit.
Take the guy behind her, too, just because.
Who is the guy behind her? He looks like he's looking into my soul.
This is going to be full of spoilers.
Yeah.
If you're checking this out to see if you should or shouldn't watch it, you should watch it.
Yeah.
But it's too late now, because you know all the twists. Or you're getting there. So stop now. Near the end... the killer starts a full assault on the prom, the disco prom, and starts chasing his victims around the school. The killer in this is a piñata.
Yeah.
The wind would blow him over.
Yeah. He got a broom to the face and shot back about 10 yards.
And I didn't think he was getting back up after the broom. What'd she hit him with? A broom?
It was almost like a frail grandpa there, which I guess would work in the timeline if someone witnessed the little girl die in the beginning.
It was. The grandpa's coming to get you. But, don't worry about it unless he sneaks up on you when you're sleeping. You can pretty much just kind of just throw whatever you want at him.
I think just the expulsion of air from your scream would just knock him over and you could get away. The killer's disguise is hilarious because it's just a ski mask. And I swear I saw glitter on it, like, throughout the film.
There is, there's glitter on it. And it's actually Lou's ski mask from earlier in the movie.
Oh, yeah,
he
that's
gets
true.
it taken away and thrown in the principal's garbage can.
And I guess it got mixed with cheerleaders stuff and just got glitter all over it. It was hilarious.
Who knows what was in that garbage can. But I guess that's where the killer may have obtained it, from that garbage can.
Fucking Lou, man. Fucking Lou.
So the killer's wearing all black with a black ski mask, running around the school like a crazy man, and knocked over by bright lights. And his eyes is just blown away by it.
There's some dude with a Seinfeld pirate shirt on, which was amazing.
Is that Jerry Seinfeld's pirate shirt?
I mean, my favorite series as a kid was Seinfeld, so it was any type of reference is perfect for me.
And you didn't know until now that they've ripped off Jamie Lee Curtis horror slasher.
Yeah, it was a total ripoff. Now I need to talk to them. Had a deep V,
Yep.
which is exactly what you want when you have a shitty body.
Yeah, I agree. I have several.
Yeah.
So you said the guy driving the van reminded you of Shelley.
Yes,
Final-
from
Friday the 13th,
Part 4.
Part 3.
3.
From Friday the 13th, Part 3.
Yes.
And that actor's name is Sheldon.
Oh, really?
But he's no relation to Shelley from Friday the 13th, Part 3.
That's a good
no
combo.
relation.
Well, my favorite part of his in this movie is they pull into like a park, and he drives in at like full clip with an Econo line and just crushes the curb.
Jesus Christ. Jesus, he can't even drive it.
Also, him driving at full speed with a dead woman hanging out the back of his van later on was pretty good.
There's a scene in this movie where Stu, whatever his name is, the guy with the van, he's out partying with his girl, and the killer is stalking them.
Yes.
And the killer's behind some trees and moves the trees in such a way that it doesn't really make sense for the killer. But he's moving the trees so the camera can see through.
Yes.
That guy's got a really hard time peering through foliage.
And he's not like moving it out of the way of his eye line, he's moving it out of the way of the shot.
Yeah, exactly. He's actually the DP.
The DP just moved his head. Yeah, let me move these ones for you.
Perfect.
Your elbow's in the shot, Mitch.
And the funny part is if you looked at the shot, you saw his head was still covered with leaves. The leaves were here, and the shot was perfectly open.
Maybe he was just covering himself.
That's true.
This is better camouflage. If I move this branch out of the way of that camera and in front of me, they'll notice the camera. They won't see me.
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous.
One of the red herrings got me. Near the end, the unibrow guy is hatching a plot to take over the prom. He thinks that if you obtain the crown of the prom, that makes you rightful king of the prom.
Yes.
So he was going to usurp the king of the prom and wear the crown out.
Yeah. And the presumption is all the principals and all the chaperones would just let him go.
Yes.
and just worship him as king of the school.
But you didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
Here I am. I have the crown. What are you going to do about it? He's backstage and he slaps the prom king, and the prom king is knocked out completely.
No backhand could knock someone out that cold. You're done.
So there's your protagonist right there.
I'm like, that guy went down so easily. He's got to be the killer. But I was wrong.
That's a good concept, though. I didn't pick that up.
I thought for sure that I had it.
I
had it,
Yeah,
but
I didn't pick that up.
It wasn't it. Lou comes out, or he's about to come out, and the killer knocks his fucking head off.
Yeah.
And his head goes flying.
Lops it off.
Holy shit!
Yes. He got knocked on his ass. That was the highlight of the movie.
Yeah.
They used some kind of stage that let him put his actual head through, because the head looked really good. If it wasn't a prop, then they must have had his head actually sticking through with something.
Yeah.
Time out.
Oh, you need a brewski?
Yeah, I'll get it. Beautiful.
Well, let's talk about the reviews.
Okay.
So, critically, it did really poorly. Basically, every review was the same. Like, I've scrolled through probably 20 reviews. They all said it was a watered-down version of Halloween with Carrie mixed into it.
Halloween with Carrie, yeah.
Which, it's a astute point, but for us being horror film lovers and anybody that's into the culty slasher films, It's a great watch.
So this movie has like, there's if you're here for kills, rapid fire kills, murder, death, destruction,
Not the film.
don't see this movie because you're not going to get any of that until the very end. It's this very slow burn.
Yeah.
I feel like it's one of those movies that will kind of grow on you, just like almost any slasher is, just because of the characters. And some are douchebags, and some are supposed to be heroes, and they're not. But those reviewers are kind of missing something because it's a murderer running around in a prom night setting. Mm-hmm. That's not a bad combination. People say, oh, it's Die Hard on an airplane. It's Die Hard in an aquarium.
Exactly.
It's Die Hard at a bouncy castle. That sounds awesome. Mm-hmm. That's not a bad idea.
Die Hard in a bouncy castle would be amazing. But it has to be hosted by 3-year-olds. It's just like a 3-year-old Bruce Willis with little water guns. That'd be awesome.
Come out to the bouncy castle. We'll have a few drinks.
Have a few laughs.
You watch Halloween, and you see Jamie Lee Curtis in that role, and then you watch this movie, you're like, oh, they're going to just take her and put her in this prom night movie, and it's going to be the same thing.
Yeah.
She's not in any danger at all through the whole movie. She's not being stalked. She's not receiving threatening phone calls. Nobody's trying to spook her out except for Lou trying to grab her ass or, or harass her in the lunchroom.
She's mainly just like the pillar of tension in this movie. Like whenever she's around, obviously it's like that tension of, well, your sister had been killed.
Yes.
And these are the folks that did it.
Yeah,
so.
Here's all your friends. By the way, they have a horrible secret that they will probably never tell you.
Yeah. That's refreshing. It's good to know. Like it's good to know that she had that range enough where someone would take her for other than just a scream queen, which was good.
Yeah, and it's all obvious by the end of the movie because it's her brother who is the killer.
Yeah.
He's seeking revenge for the girl falling out of the window so many years ago, which I didn't see that coming.
Me neither.
The only one I thought was the wafy boyfriend who got slapped and knocked out immediately from a backhand.
Yeah. I thought it was Lou the whole time. It threw me for a loop when he got his head fucking lobbed off.
Threw you for a loop?
Yeah, a loop. Show the head. I was focused on Lou the whole time. I was like, he's a fucking douchebag. He's going down. I mean, the janitor I thought was a red herring. Like, it was just too obvious. It was too in your face. But Lou was just enough like that 80s like cool guy fucking. I just figured they would just kind of use that as like, we're a bunch of nerds and this douchebag's the guy that did it. You know? But
of course it is.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
It wasn't.
Oh, something beep. Did you hear something beep?
Oh, fuck. The battery just died.
Oh.
No.
Shit.
Yeah.